Death, as depicted in Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, is a menacing and enigmatic figure who personifies the inevitability of mortality. He is a relentless hunter who has come to claim the lives of those who have used up their time, particularly Puss in Boots, who has recklessly wasted 8 of his 9 lives. Unlike typical representations of death, this character is not an abstract force, but an active, almost sentient antagonist who seeks to instill fear.
I just love the smell of fear.
And a deep sense of accountability in his prey. Death's motivations are not driven by vengeance, but by his role in the natural order, ensuring that no one escapes their fate. His appearance is unnerving and often marked by eerie, ominous visuals, like his glowing eyes and the chilling sound of a ticking clock, signifying that time is running out. He does not just come to kill. He engages his victims in psychological games, testing their will to live and their understanding of their own mortality, pushing them to reckon with the choices they've made, making Death one of the most unforgettable and thought-provoking characters in the film.
I just love the smell of fear.
The Green Goblin, or Norman Osborn, is one of the most iconic and dangerous villains in the Spider-Man universe. He is the founder and CEO of Oscorp, a powerful corporation.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Osborn is a complex figure, combining charm, charisma, and an unrelenting ambition. On the surface, he presents himself as a successful businessman and a caring father, especially to his son, Harry. But underneath this facade lies a man consumed by pride, insecurity, and a thirst for power. Norman Osborn's transformation into the Green Goblin comes when his scientific experiments lead him to enhance his physical and mental abilities, creating a monstrous alter ego. The Green Goblin is willing to sacrifice anyone, even his own family, to achieve his goals. His ultimate ambition is not just wealth or power, but to prove himself as the greatest force in the world, often at the expense of anyone who stands in his way. The Goblin's attacks are not just physical, but psychological, often targeting Peter Parker, Spider-Man personally.
And they found you amusing for a while, the people of this city?
As he knows how to manipulate and torment his enemies, particularly those closest to him.
Peter, thank God for you. The goblin killed. I had nothing to do with it.
I would never hurt you.
The Green Goblin's ruthlessness and obsession with control make him a terrifying and calculating figure, embodying a form of pure evil.
Coward. We have a new world to conquer.
Gustavo "Gus" Fring is the main antagonist of Breaking Bad and one of the most chilling and calculated villains in modern television. On the surface, he is a respectable businessman and the owner of the fast food chain Los Pollos Hermanos.
Hello, and welcome to the Los Pollos Hermanos family. My name is Gustavo, but you can call me Gus.
Which serves as a front for his massive drug empire. He is meticulously well-dressed, always calm, and presents himself as the epitome of professionalism. But Gus is far from just a successful entrepreneur. Behind his friendly demeanor lies a cold, remorseless killer who thrives on control and order. Gus's intellect is razor sharp, and he is a master strategist, able to outthink and outmaneuver his enemies at every turn. He operates with a sense of professionalism and discipline that makes him seem almost godlike. What makes Gus particularly terrifying is his ability to remain composed, whether it's poisoning an entire family, or eliminating those who threaten his business. And the terrifying mind games he plays with his enemies.
You are not a cautious man at all. Your partner is late. I can't work with someone with poor judgment.
Reverse Flash, or Eobard Thawne, is one of the most twisted and malevolent figures in the Flash universe. He is a speedster from the future. Thawne's existence is defined by a deep-seated obsession with Barry Allen, the Flash. He once looked up to Barry as a hero, but became consumed by jealousy and hatred when he couldn't match Barry's greatness. This toxic mix of envy and inferiority drove him to experiment with the Speed Force, ultimately transforming him into the Reverse Flash, an entity whose entire existence is dedicated to causing suffering. Thawne is a being with no moral compass, willing to destroy everything in his path to hurt Barry. What sets Reverse Flash apart from other villains is his total disregard for human life. He reshapes history, erases people from existence, and remakes the world in his image, all in the name of proving his superiority. The Reverse Flash is a living nightmare, a villain whose only goal is to prove that he is, and always will be, the ultimate force in existence.
For my part, I finally discovered ways to possess speeds faster than anyone alive.
The Batman Who Laughs is a nightmarish and twisted version of the Dark Knight, one of the most terrifying and dangerous iterations of Batman to ever exist. He is a result of a twisted convergence of Batman's intelligence and the sadistic nature of the Joker. After Bruce Wayne in his universe was pushed to his breaking point and killed the Joker, he became infected by the villain's toxin, transforming into a being that is part Batman, part Joker, and entirely something far more lethal. Unlike the original Batman,
I'm Batman.
who is driven by a sense of justice, the Batman Who Laughs is consumed by an overwhelming desire to cause chaos and terror. His corrupted morality sees the world as a game of survival, where only the strong or cunning survive. Those who cannot endure his machinations are simply discarded. The Batman Who Laughs is not just a dark reflection of Batman. He is a villain who represents the worst possible outcome of what could happen if the Dark Knight was overcome by his darkest impulses.
Oh, Alfred, sweet, loyal Alfred. Master Bruce is gone.
Darth Vader, once known as Anakin Skywalker,
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
is one of the most iconic and tragic figures in the Star Wars universe. Born with incredible potential in the Force, Anakin was a skilled Jedi Knight who was destined for greatness.
General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected.
However, his fear of loss, desire for power, and manipulation by dark forces led him down a path of corruption. Turning to the Sith under the guidance of Emperor Palpatine, Anakin adopts the name
You shall be known as Darth Vader.
abandoning his former identity and becoming the embodiment of darkness and oppression. Vader is a figure of immense power and fear. His mastery of the Force, combined with his unparalleled combat skills, make him nearly unstoppable. His black armor, heavy breathing, and commanding presence strike terror into the hearts of his enemies and allies alike. But beneath the mask lies a man tortured by guilt, loss, and regret. Vader is not just a cold and calculating villain. His desire to save those he loves, particularly his wife Padme, ultimately becomes the very thing that leads to her death, and his transformation into the dark figure he becomes is a result of his overwhelming fear of losing everything. His legacy in the Star Wars universe is one that spans generations, reminding all that even the darkest of souls can find a path to redemption if they dare to embrace it. Hannibal Lecter is one of the most chilling and complex villains in modern fiction, known for his role in Thomas Harris's Hannibal series, particularly in The Silence of the Lambs. A brilliant psychiatrist with a refined taste for culture, art, and cuisine, Lecter is also a sadistic serial killer, known for his intellect, charm, and terrifying ability to manipulate those around him. He holds a particular fascination with human behavior, using his deep understanding of psychology to torment his victims, turning them into objects of his dark fascination. Lecter's charm is one of his most dangerous qualities, yet beneath this charming exterior lies a sadistic and calculating monster who finds pleasure in inflicting pain, both physical and psychological, on his victims. His crimes are not just acts of violence, but carefully crafted, deeply thought-out plans that reflect his twisted sense of superiority over others. What makes Hannibal Lecter so terrifying is his sheer intelligence and his ability to maintain control over any situation. He is never flustered, always calculating and precise, whether he's dissecting the human psyche or committing acts of horrific violence, making him one of the most unforgettable and terrifying characters in the world of psychological horror.
Why do you think he removes their skins? Legion's done.
Slade Wilson, also known as Deathstroke, is one of the most dangerous and ruthless mercenaries in the Teen Titans universe. With his unmatched combat skills, enhanced physical abilities, and cold, calculating mind, Slade is a formidable opponent to the Titans. He is not driven by a sense of revenge or a particular cause, but by his own personal ambition, profit, and the thrill of the challenge. His desire for control and superiority leads him to become a manipulator, using his intelligence and resources to outthink and outmaneuver his enemies at every turn. What makes Slade such a terrifying villain is his complete lack of morality. He is willing to use anyone, whether it's his own allies, the Titans, or even innocent civilians, as pawns in his schemes. He has no hesitation in making ruthless decisions to achieve his goals.
The thing that keeps you up at night. The evil that haunts every dark.
Often employing psychological manipulation, deceit, and fear to maintain control. Slade's mind is as much a weapon as his physical abilities. His strategic genius allows him to plan several steps ahead, making him an unpredictable and dangerous adversary. Slade's combat skills are legendary, and years of military experience. He is a master of hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship. His iconic mask and suit are not just for intimidation, but are part of his calculated persona, helping to maintain his aura of fear and authority. His ability to adapt and fight with precision makes him one of the few villains capable of standing toe-to-toe with the Teen Titans. Despite his cold, merciless demeanor, Slade's motivations are rooted in a desire for power and control rather than personal vendettas, make him one of the most formidable and unpredictable threats to the Teen Titans.
You have had doubts in the past, made mistakes.
You belong to me now, don't you?